put it out there that the home field advantage is still there because you know where the puddles are building up. You have a little bit, but you still have to be cautious in that. All I'm saying is the home field does at least help you. You're not in
it does.
You're starting off at least in a familiar environment, in a familiar field that you know.
You know, like Dorothy says, no place like home, right? There's no place like home. So that does give a little bit of an advantage to Millwood. However, the other thing, too, Mo, that I want to bring up is that this is a game for, you know, those traditional spike, you know, cleats. This isn't a game for the quick field turf type cleats because, again, there will be a slush element to this in terms of every time your foot goes down, it's going to sink, and that means it's going to be a little bit slower coming up. That's both offensively and defensively. So it affects both sides. I think, you know, if it's me, we want to protect the football. We want to be sure-footed. We want to know where we're going. We want to make sure that we execute. But most importantly, protect the football.
Yes, absolutely, Gary. And when we start looking at that aspect of things, also on the defensive side of the ball, Gary, you got to say tonight, if you're Millwood, you got to wrap up tonight. You got to have multiple people going to the ball because, yes, you may lose your footing. Yeah. There may be a wet jersey, and hand tackling is not this. So tonight, we're going to find out whose fundamentals are a little bit more on point than others.
Yes. In fact, you have to put that helmet and those shoulder pads on the person carrying the football to bring him down. Reaching out and grab him is not going to get it. I mean, when the jerseys are wet, you got to remember they're still wearing a lot of that dry fit, tight fit sort of stuff, and it just makes it that much more difficult. And then if you factor in, if they get some mud tonight, you know, not only is the football going to be like trying to wrestle a little piglet in the mud, but, you know, the guys you're trying to tackle can slip through your arms the same way.
Absolutely. Now, the field is in wet condition. There is standing water. We can see it in different areas of the field, somewhere around the 50-yard line right at midfield, so you can know that about kickoff. There's some divots and puddles somewhere around the 10. But the splash zone will be the end zone tonight. And if you can get there, you're going all in.
All you got to do is cross the line.
Because there is a nice puddle on the, I would say, on the north side of the end zone down here. Yeah. There's a nice puddle down there. And I guarantee you the coaches that we know here, both Brett Poker and Darwin Franklin, are going to be very smart about understanding situational football, placement, all those things, because that's what these coaches do.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, And like I said, where you want to work on the field, paying attention to where the field is being worn or chewed up, and then also to trying to see what the weather does as the game progresses from first quarter to second quarter or third quarter. It's all factored in. And also to the play calling, you know, knowing the down situation, looking at it, you're going to probably see more strategy surrounding playing field position, not necessarily taking those.
Do you do ball control in a steady rain like
most
this?
Definitely.
Absolutely. That's what I thought.
Most definitely. And on the sideline, the ball boys or the ball handlers, they're going to earn their keep tonight because you're probably going to have about 6 or 7 footballs on the sideline, all of them wrapped in towels to try to keep them dry. Because as the balls get wet, they tend to change or swell a little bit, and that can become problematic.
Game time temperature should be about 77 degrees. I'm going to say that the temperature will hold steady until about the fourth quarter, but we're not expecting it to cool off all that much. It'll be right around I'd say the low 70s by the time we get to the fourth quarter. The head coach for the Millwood Falcons in his 10th season is Darwin Franklin, and the head coach for the great Heritage Hall Chargers, I say that with respect, is Brett Boger. When we come back, you're going to hear from Coach Darwin Franklin. We'll have some keys to the game. We'll give you some insight as we get ready for kickoff here in just a few minutes. But let's make sure we give a shout out to all our sponsors tonight's game. First of all, tonight's game is being brought to you by Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores and SSM Health in St. Anthony. First Security Bank, Big O's Pork and Dreams, Chris and Christy Harrison of Heritage Funeral Home and Super Prep, A-Plus Lawn Service, and the Millwood Enrichment Foundation. We'll be back on the other side. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football.
Route 66 to dispensary has the lowest prices around. I'm talking $1 pre-rolls, dabs starting at just $4.95, vape pens $9.95, and shake zips as low as $5. Happy hour is 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. every day, and that's when Flower Buds is 25% off. That means $50 OZs are just $37.50. Don't settle for imposters. There's only one Route 66 dispensary, and it's at 3801 North Portland. If you went anywhere else, you pay too much.
Oklahoma City, get your tickets now for the Arcadia Festival and Rodeo, taking place this Labor Day weekend. Starting Friday, September 2nd, with the Arcadia Blues Festival featuring Kerry Wayne's Rockstar Band, Dirty Red, and the Soul Shakers, and the Casino Band. Gates open at 6 p.m. at the Arcadia Municipal Park. On Saturday, September 3rd, is one of Oklahoma's tradition-rich rodeos, Arcadia Rodeo, starting with the parade at 3 p.m. and the rodeo starting at 8 p.m., featuring all your favorite rodeo events with $5,000 in added money. The rodeo will only take place on Saturday. Sunday, September 4th, is the Gospel Extravaganza at 4 p.m. So come out to the great town of Arcadia for the Arcadia Festival and Rodeo this Labor Day weekend. And it's just $10. That's $10 for each event to attend. For more information, go online at townofarcadia.com or call 405-396-2899. That's 396-2899.
Donate to the golf tournament, go to millwoodathletes.com and look under quick links on the bottom left-hand side. Same day at 5:30 p.m., let the soul begin on the Magic Falcons L.W. Good Stadium football field. It's the Soul Bowl Band Showcase with performances by the Millwood and Douglas bands. Also, a special guest performance by the Langston University Lions Band. Then, on Saturday, September 10th, grab your pride, hop in your ride, and head to the east side for the game of the year. It's OKC's biggest rivalry. It's the Millwood Falcons versus the Douglas Trojans at Moses F. Miller Stadium, the home stomping ground of the Douglas High School Trojans. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Be there. It's the 47th annual Soul Bowl, baby.
Lauren, congratulations on the purchase of your new home.
Thank you. I still can't believe that I'm a proud owner of my own home.
Girl, I'm tired of renting. I just don't know if I'm ready for all that stuff you have to do to get qualified for a home loan.
You know, Leah, I was concerned too, but Rod C. at Guaranteed Rate made the process simple. He walked me along the way and made sure I had everything in place to get qualified to buy my new home.
You make it sound simple.
It was because of Rod C. at Guaranteed Rate. You should call him today. He'll help you buy your new home.
Contact Rod C. with a Guaranteed Rate online at rodc.com. That's RODSEE.com. Or call Rod and his team today at 405-266-5383. Equal housing lender subject to credit approval. NMLS ID number 246924. Company NMLS ID 2611. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
What's up, Tulsa, Oklahoma? This is your homegirl, born in Oklahoma City herself, Tisha Campbell. You may know me from shows like Martin, My Wife and Kids, and most recently, Uncoupled on Netflix. Now, I have some exciting news. I will be the keynote speaker at the Women of Color Expo of Tulsa Awards luncheon, Saturday, September 10th at the Osage Casino in Tulsa. Please come meet me at the 2022 Women of Color Expo Tulsa. Get your tickets now at ticketstorm.com, and I will see you there.
Welcome back to Falcon Pregame. Maurice Prince and Gary Woods on the call here. Gary, got a lot of things to get into when it turns to the Falcons here. We're going to hear from Coach Darwin Franklin in just a moment. But let me tell you this, folks. If you would like to watch tonight's game, I'm going to tell you how you can do that. You can go to vcloud.blueframetech.com and click on the active Millwood Falcon and Heritage Hall link. You can watch that there and then tune into PPBC Sports TV. and you can watch the game live on that. Going something new this year. Something new.
Okay.
It's going to bring you closer to the game and get you a little bit closer to the action. You'll enjoy it. So make sure you tune in and do that. As well, I want to make sure we thank all our sponsors once again. SSM Health at St. Anthony, Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores, First Security Bank, Big O's Pork and Dreams, Chris and Christy Harrison of Heritage Funeral Home, Super Prep, A-Plus Lawn Service, and the Millwood Enrichment Foundation. Had a chance to talk to Darwin Franklin a few weeks ago, Gary, and he had some things to say, and I wanted to get your reaction because the first question I asked him, I said, is a little bit different. Most people, the Falcons were 4-6 last year. Most people, when you ask that question, they get into this mindset of, you're going to ask the coach, well, how do you recover? How do you do those things?
Right.
So I had the audacity to ask Coach Franklin, what opportunities does a 4-6 season give you? And this is what he had to say.
Restructuring, focus. We looked back at where some of the issues started, canceling the game due to academics. So we bought in the off season more academically, making sure that the resources and the support was there for guys that might have been struggling with different things, academically. Being realistic with where you were. A lot of our guys, over 25 freshmen, many of which coming in and starting, that didn't play their 7th grade or didn't play their 8th grade year due to COVID. So they hadn't played ball since 7th grade. A lot of those kids came in behind the 8 ball, so having them come in and compete with 16, 17-year-olds has been lifting like that. It made us have a focus on our weight program and getting those guys bought in. Let's do some things. Let's maintain some of our core, but let's change it up. We want to make sure we adapt and constantly adapting, which we always do, but I think we did even more this off season, adapting to the skills that our kids had, being able to identify what certain guys do well and saying, hey, we could do this, and that extenuates his strength. We could do this, and this extenuates this guy's strength, and just constantly builds up the whole, and then getting even tighter. As close-knit and as close as we were before, we got even closer. When you go 4-6, a lot of the daggers is thrown. I have no problem with taking those, making little notes, never forgetting. Don't forget the comments. Don't forget the statements. Don't forget the questions. Don't forget the posts. Don't forget your tweets. Everybody that had their opinions, don't forget none of it and use it as fuel.
Coach Darwin Franklin talking there about the 4-6. I thought it was a very well thought out answer he gave there. He covered it in so many different angles. Gary, what's your reaction to that?
First of all, I'd like to say that, man, I just really, really admire Darwin Franklin. I love the man. He is huge on self-evaluation, and he's huge on accountability. And when you have those two things working for you in terms of where you are as an individual at your core, you have the strength to be able to look at your program, and you can look at yourself, you can look at the kids and be honest with yourself. And then when you're honest with yourself is when you can begin to really address the things that are going on in your program. He played also too, and he didn't say this, but he played nine freshmen last year. Anytime you play that many freshmen, you're in trouble. And the reality of it is that that's just what the deal was. This is a small school, and I know I'm not making any excuses, but Millwood is a small school, and you have those classes where there are gaps that occur. And then when you factor in COVID on top of it, you find yourself, rebuilding. But the good thing about Darwin is that he doesn't look at it and say, well, it's a rebuilding year. He saw it as an investment year. Investment meaning that, okay, I'm going to play these younger players, and it's going to be an investment into the future of his program. And that's huge. And then in addition to that, when you look at the fact that he played the younger players, we always, as coaches back in the day, we would say that for every freshman you start, at a powerhouse program, that's potentially a loss that you're going to take. Okay, he played 7, 8, 9 freshmen, and he went 4-6. So I'm looking to this year's core, with a sense of excitement because I know that these players are only going to continue to get better and better. In fact, based on everything we've seen in the preseason, Mo, they're already better. They're significantly better.
And you're talking about guys, when we go up and down the roster, Gary, we're talking about guys like Xavier Thompson, who was as you called him, a diaper dandy last year as a freshman, turning the corner, will be a dynamic player as a sophomore.
Right.
I'm looking for other guys who had may not have, you didn't know their name at the beginning of the season. Guys like Chaz Doolin, who was an absolute stud.
Right.
We get Miko Levine back.
Oh man,
I mean, that's a big move here.
Right.
And and of course we all know that it all started with Ricky Hunt Jr. And I thought that was an interesting point because my next question to Darwin Franklin was, what does a basketball championship do for the football team? And when I asked him that, the first thing he started smiling about, we got into a conversation a little bit about Ricky Hunt Jr., and he said Ricky Hunt has learned a few things, and this is what he had to say about that.
And I laughed with Rick when I called him, and I hope you don't feel no kind of way about me talking about it, but I laughed with him because that trust conversation happened back in football season. We had a conversation about trust on the field, and he was asking, how do you trust somebody? And I said, the thing about trust is you got to give it. If you don't give it, a person doesn't have an opportunity to prove that you can trust them. I said, and then afterwards you got to do it again and give them more and more opportunities. So I told him, I said, the biggest play was you actually gave it up because I know you didn't want to. And he just started laughing. He just laughed. He said, I didn't though. I said, I know you didn't. And that's okay. And it's easy for him to realize now that, hey, you don't have to be the guy. We've always said it. You got a room full of guys. And if it's all about you, it's easy to defend one, but it's a whole lot harder to defend 11. You got to be that leader to show work. You got to show the work ethic. You got to show everybody that if everybody else wants to put you on this pedestal, you got to work harder than everybody else. You got to be on time. You got to be the example. And leadership is lonely. It is not a feel-good position to be in. You're not going to be liked. Everybody's not going to like you. Most of the time, nobody likes you. Sometimes people want to talk to you, and other times they don't. But the big thing is you don't have to be the only leader. You got other guys. The team elected captains. That means they elected y'all because they feel like y'all will lead and hold them accountable, which was one of the words that the seniors set up in their rules this summer for the team.
Darwin Franklin talking about Ricky Hunt and stepping up, and I think that makes Ricky Hunt more dangerous, Gary, because he chooses now to trust his teammates.
Yeah.
What does that do now for a team when you talk about firepower that are looking for things to break things wide open? But now you're not carrying the torch by yourself. He made the pass that was shared over 100,000 times on social media within the first month. When he made the pass to Chance Davis in the corner, you and I called that game.
That's right.
And then we turn around and see him grow. What's your thoughts?
Well, confidence as well as difficulties can fuel growth. And one of the things that Ricky needed, it just depends on the personality. He needed to have an experience where, there's an evolution, there's a maturity, there's a developmental aspect to them going on that trail towards the state championship in basketball. He had to be unselfish, and it paid off. That was a learning in and of itself. That was a great lesson. But and also something that we haven't mentioned yet, and I'll mention it now, is that some of those basketball players put on the football uniform and they came out with that air of confidence, and they said, you know what, let's go win one in football too. And so when I was talking earlier about Millwood, this is a school of classes. this class of players, these guys are coming out. We have now the return of William Mays, who was a player year before last who was highly productive. He didn't play last year. He focused on basketball. Now he's come back to football. And then also, too, we have a newcomer, Mr. Candyman himself, because his game is so nice and so sweet, Mr. Jaden Nickens.
Jaden Nickens, that's right.
Yeah, he's come out on the football field in the preseason or during the summer with a heck of an evaluation in a preseason summer, so he's nationally ranked.
No, absolutely, Gary, and that's something that we'll continue to see as we start to see these new diamonds unveil themselves over the course of this season. We'll be happy to bring it to you. We're going to take our final break of pregame, and we'll come back, and it'll be time for game action. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores and SSM Health at St. Anthony.
Let's take a break and then get back to more Millwood Falcons football. Only on Heart and Soul 92.1 and 1140.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
It's an all-about-you kind of fall, because beauty's biggest event is here, with daily beauty steals of 50% off the must-haves from brands like Lancome and IT Cosmetics. 21 Days of Beauty has it all, happening at Ulta Beauty now through September 17th. Plus, discover new launches from Fenty Beauty and REM Beauty. So give yourself that new beauty feeling. You deserve it. Shop in-store, online, or try pickup today. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have anybody to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Marie, is that you?
Oh, hi, Barb. How you doing?
Better now. Did you know we had a little health scare with Jeff?
Oh, no. What happened?
Well, he had been short of breath and was really tired a lot of the time. He just thought he was getting old and was out of shape, but it turns out it was heart valve disease.
How did you figure it out?
He finally went to the doctor, and she was able to listen to his heart and detected the problem. I didn't realize it, but heart valve disease is more common than you'd think. They were able to replace the valve, and he's feeling so much better now.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
More than 5 million Americans are diagnosed with heart valve disease every year, but most people know nothing about the condition, and it can be deadly if untreated. That's why it's important to listen to your heart and ask your doctor if your symptoms may be due to heart valve disease, or if you're at high risk. A message brought to you by Heart Valve Voice US. For more information about the symptoms and treatments for valve disease, go to heartvalvevoice-us.org.
Welcome back to LW Goods Football Stadium for tonight's Clash of the Titans, ladies and gentlemen. Your Millwood Falcons facing the Heritage Hall Chargers, and we're happy to bring it to you, sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony and Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores. I want to thank our other sponsors for tonight: First Security Bank, Big O's Pork Your Dreams, Chris and Christy Harrison of Heritage Funeral Home, Super Prep, A-Plus Lawn Service, and Millwood Enrichment Foundation. The ball is placed. Millwood Heritage Hall won the toss and will be kicking and will be receiving the ball from the south end zone. Millwood's going to put the ball in play, and it looks like down there, Gary, it looks like we have Looks like we have a different jersey number out there, but it looks like number 32 is about to kick it off for the Falcons. And here we go. The Clash of the Titans is officially on. Well, not quite. I'm just a little anxious myself, a little anxious to get things started here. The kick is away. Low squib kick. It is going to be picked up and down at the 27-yard line. 1st and 10. That's where the Heritage Hall charges will come out.
Yeah, Ori Walker was the one that recovered on that onside kick.
Glad that you mentioned Ori Walker. Ori Walker is one of the weapons that we're going to see tonight featured in this Heritage Hall offense. Andy Bass is their starting quarterback. We're going to see him in action for the first time as he's getting his first start in Brett Bogart's offense this evening. But they have a lot of things to rely on tonight, and it starts off with River Faulkner. You say, who is that? That man ran 1,000 yards last year and ran for 232 yards in the playoff semifinal last year for Heritage Hall. We're set to go. 4 receivers. Bass is we're going on a jet sweep play, trying to turn the corner.
Beautiful tackle by Iverson McElwee and Ricky Hunt.
Ricky Hunt and them combining on the tackle, bringing them down inside the, I want to say down at the 18-yard line, maybe a little less depending on the spot of the ball. They're going to be swapping footballs all night. Yeah. One splash here and there, and it's everywhere.
Well, they marked the ball at 21. I guess they gave him credit for forward progress.
All right, here we go. Set the action. 4 receivers. Once again, jet sweep. We're going to do a reverse pass. Throwing it up and the pass is just out of the reach on the reverse pass by Liam Burton. He intended to get the ball in the hands of the quarterback. Looks like there. Andy Bass trying to catch it. Was that not Andy Bass? No, Andy Bass lined up as a receiver, came back in the backfield, caught the pass, and it was throwing the ball along the sideline. But again, the rain has caused some timing issues for the teams as things get started. Now, the rain has subsided now. The sun is starting to come out, and you would never know it was raining except for the puddles on the field, Gary.
Yeah, that pass was intended for Liam Burton, and I guess Heritage Hall's trying to get the great stop.
Nothing doing as the ball is snapped in the hands, and Andy tries to pull it down, and nothing doing. It's going to be 3 and out for the Falcons.
Yeah, the Chargers actually tried to, I guess they're while the balls are in good shape, while the sun is out, they're going to try these trick plays early to see if they can't get up on the Falcons pretty quick.
All right, now it looks like in this position here, it is 4th down at about 16 yards to go. The ball at the 20-yard line officially. Now Bass drops back. He's standing at the 10-yard line. He should pump this ball away, but you got to be careful here and not let any trickery go down. Yeah. So the ball, I'd say, a short kick. The ball goes out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. They're going to mark it at maybe the 33 or the 34-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Falcons. They're in plus territory.
Yeah.
So a great starting position for the Falcons. So now we get our chance to see for the first time tonight Iverson McElwee. We believe we're going to see him tonight, and it might be someone else.
No, he's not.
It's not. It's going to be C.J. Turnbull getting the start for the Falcons tonight.
The true freshman. Again, he's the new diaper dandy now.
4 receivers, spread formation, single back. The Chargers showing blitz, and they're going to get it to the outside. A quick pass. Pass is caught, and then he loses it, and it falls on the ground, and the Chargers say they have it, and the officials say they do. Great quick pass from C.J. Turnbull to Xavier Thompson. And again, the wet ball, he could not secure it, Gary.
Yeah.
He fumbles it, and the Chargers fall on it. So quick change here.
Yeah.
But the ball is still on the Charger side of the field. They're going to move the ball to the 37-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, what we say pregame in terms of what were the keys protect the football. You can't run until you have that ball secure in the elements like this.
2 receivers. Make that 3 receivers. Check that Andy Bass shotgun formation. Inside slot receiver comes in motion across the formation. They fake it, going to swing it to the outside, and he loses it in the sun. Pass is intended for Jordan Harris, as Andy Bass was trying to get him all those quick hitting plays.
Yeah, that was what we termed that as an RPO. So he basically was reading to see if the backer was going to flex to cover the flare out, and he didn't. So they tried to get it out there. He just overthrew it.
And again, I'm interested to see what these coaches decide to do in these situations because, Gary, they still want to run that quick hit stuff. 4 receivers, trips to the left side of Andy Bass. He's in shotgun, and his hip pocket is River Faulkner, who has yet to carry the ball yet. I assume he will get it on this possession. And nice ball fake up the middle. And making one man miss, and he's in the open field. There he goes. Andy Bass is down into Falcon territory. And it's going to be brought down inside the 25-yard line. Nice gain on the play by Andy Bass, who read the play on the jet sweep, Gary, and then decided to go right up the middle. It was wide open there. No one had covered that hole or that gap, and he ends up with a 25-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, I mean, again, reading those keys, whenever you have the zone read concept where there's an option to either give or pass, again, you got to stay in position. And that time, the defensive line of the Falcons kind of got out of position chasing the jet sweep.
All right, we have one turnover in the game. That belongs to the Falcons. Now we have our first penalty of the game. That goes against the Chargers. So that's going to back them up 5 yards. It's going to put the ball on the other side of the 30-yard line, make that the 35-yard line. That's at the 37, so 1st and 15 now. Pistol formation, 3 receivers, twist to the right side. Ball snap, Bass with the ball fake right up the middle this time, looking for something to do, and nothing doing there. That gap was closed quickly by Cameron Carter as he did a great job covering that open space there, Gary.
That was just straight ahead zone ISO play there where Barrett Travis was handed the ball, and he ran right into a host of Falcons there. Well played by the Falcons defensive front.
4 receivers now, 1 back in the backfield. Bass a shotgun in his hip pocket to the left. And again, Bass with quarterback draw right up the middle. He's going to get a gain of about 6 or 7 yards. Make that 5, make that 6. It's going to set up 3rd down and 9. In this position, Gary, with the field being what it is this 4-down territory if you get in plus field position against your opponent today?
Again, I'm assuming that Heritage Hall has a field goal kicker. I haven't seen one, but yeah, you know, you're going to have to make that judgment in terms of what do you come away with. What you don't want to do is get down into scoring or in the red zone and not come away with any points.
3 receivers, twins to the left, ball snap, back, drops back in the pocket, and the pass is nearly intercepted. Ricky Hunt had a beat on it, and it took a little bit of time for that ball to get there, and this is what you call that wet football, Gary, because it doesn't move like the regular, a dry football would. It kind of fell to the ground, with a thud, but Ricky Hunt had a chance. Give it another second or two, it might have been a big 6.
Well, he also was looking up into the sun. As you can see where Ricky is lined up, it's extra bright over there. The sun is behind us. He was looking right into it.
Bass has it now. Ball fake should be holding from the
double
ball.
move.
They're going to throw in the double move and ball down on the ground, and the pass is going to be caught at the 10-yard line. No, it could have been holding back there because getting into the backfield, applying a very good pass rush was Keelan Searles, the junior from Millwood. He was back there. They had him high up on his shoulder pass, but no flag on the play. Yeah. Bass is able to complete the pass, so it's going to be 1st and goal now for the Chargers.
And Zaire Fisher was...
Is that 1st and goal? Is the ball?
It's on the 10-yard line.
All right, here we go. 3 receivers. 1 back in the backfield. Ball snap. Bass is going to hand it off. Going right up the middle, looking for some space to operate and right to the puddle. And going to score the first touchdown of the class of the Titans is Barrett Travis. He gets to the end zone. First score of the game belongs to the Chargers.
Well, that ball was handed off just a straight zone play, and there was nothing there. However, the defensive end of the Falcons on that right side there lost containment, so the running back was able to bounce it to the outside. No one was there. The secondary, the cornerback, was in coverage down there typically, on the goal line. You will go man-to-man. So it looks like Heritage Hall's lining up for 2.
Going to go for 2 here.
No, it's a field goal. They have the tee down.
All right, the tee is down. We'll see if the PAT by Carter counts, the junior. See if he can put it through the uprights. Ball snap. Hold is clean. Up the middle it goes. And 7 points is now the lead on the night, as that has been scored the first. Like I said, the first points of the night have been scored by the Chargers.
Yeah, 8:29.
8:29 to go in the first quarter. Maurice Prince and Gary Woods on the call. We'll take a break, and we will be right back with more Clash of the Titans. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores and SSM Health at St. Anthony's. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to listen to my show, Super Prep Live.
Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school
student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Live can be heard on OKC's CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live. Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.
Welcome back to LW Good Football Stadium, Millwood Falcon football, right here on Heart and Soul 92.1 at 1140. Remember, you can watch the game by tuning in to ppbcsportstv.tv. You can do that, and also you can see it on the Millwood Falcon YouTube page. Millwood's going to have their next opportunity to go ahead and get the offense going, and their first possession of the night, Gary, was at their own 37-yard line, and then after that, the pass was complete, turnover, and it allowed Heritage Hall to get some momentum going and score. The ball is going to go out of bounds. It will be a flag. It'll put the ball at the 35-yard line on the kickoff, 1st and 10, Falcons.
Yeah, just a little bit of a drive recap. Again, when looking at that, the Falcons did a really good job of defending against the run. They only gave up one long run, but the other score, actually came from, again, that double move play. Heritage Hall, being smart, being a little crafty, what they do, they took advantage of a situation where they threw away from Ricky Hunt Jr. Let's start there. And number two, they ran a double move concept. So the wide receiver almost just walked off the line of scrimmage, but then he accelerated after the break and was able to, get free and make the catch for a score. So, again, Falcons started off a little bit slow right now, but I think, once they get everything settled down, I think they should be okay.
You're going to see here, Gary, exactly, what they are, what the Falcons are going to do on this ensuing possession here. But the object here is the game's not too far away from you.
Right.
You just need to play within yourself and get back to doing the things that you need to do.
Another onside kick. I mean, they are determined.
And the Falcons made him re-kick, not taking the penalty. So that
Nico
ball,
Levine
has it. He's on the outside. He's at the 50. He's going to be brought down the 40-yard line. With a great return.
Trying to see where they're going to spot the ball. Look like the 41-yard line.
So now the ball is at the 41-yard line of the Chargers. So 1st and 10. Ball spot at the 41. So here we go. Back to live action right now. Ball is in the hand of the quarterback, of course, tonight is C.J. Turnbull. Turnbull's going to hand the ball off to Ricky Hunt. Loses his footing, trying to hit the gap, getting a little shifty with his feet. Going to lose his footing there, Gary. No gain on the play.
Yeah, this is one of those games where Ricky's going to have to just put his foot in the ground. This is like a one-cut sort of game. So he's not going to be able to dance on this surface. He just needs to put one foot in the ground, see an opening, attack the opening, and just try to rip through it for 3 yards, 4 yards.
3 receivers, twins to the right side. Turnbull and shotgun. Ricky Hunt in his hip pocket to the left. Officially 7:42 to go in the first quarter. Ball snap. Turnbull drops back in the pocket, feels the pressure, and loses one defender. He might take off and run. He decides to pull it down and makes another man miss, and then multiple flags come in. It's in the area of probably holding, and I'll tell you, well, it's going to be back. It's in the backfield, though, Gary.
Yeah, I know. It was because it was a crackback block. So I want to say that the call is going to end up being, what do you call it, defenseless?
Well, in other words, you talk about a defenseless player.
Right. And so
it is. It's the crackback.
Crackback blocks are now, illegal. Blind blocks are illegal.
But back in a few years ago, that was a beautiful hit.
That was a beautiful play.
You heard the fans cheer.
Most
excited about it.
But we have to remember now that the rules are changing. And, of course, that foul was called on Jordan Johnson. He was just playing aggressive. He didn't leave with the helmet. It's just that the guy was defenseless. It was a defenseless block. So,
all right,
guys, got to remember that.
So that is going to move the ball back close to midfield. They're going to spot it. Looks like at the from the spot of the foul. So the foul took place at the 49-yard line, so they're going to move the ball way back into Falcon territory. They're going to put it, he keeps walking, he's going to put it at the 38-yard line.
Yeah,
so
personal foul.
Yeah, so you're looking at basically, what are we looking at there? Looks like second down at about 35.
Yeah, that was, it happened about 15 yards deep, and it's a 15-yard penalty. Spot foul.
Ball snap. They're going to see that ball out. Ricky Hunt was not able to secure it. And so right now the Falcons haven't been able to, the wet ball, adjust to it just yet.
Yep.
So third down at about 35, or third down and forever, however you want to look at it. So if you're the Falcons here, what kind of decision does Coach Darwin Franklin, or what kind of call does Coach Franklin want now?
He's going to probably end up trying to take a shot, but ultimately, if he doesn't get the first down, he's going to end up playing field position and punting the ball. Hopefully, Heritage Hall, given the elements, won't try to return it.
4 receivers now, trips to the right side. Wait for the ball to snap, and it is. And he's going to throw it up across the middle. The ball is tipped. And so the contact against the receiver who was bumped off his route. After the ball is tipped, you can make contact with a receiver. Pass was intended for Cato Sierra-Sunpath, but it's fourth down now, and the Falcons should wisely get Miko out there because he was the punter before the injury last year.
That's right.
And see if he can't put the ball inside the 20-yard line.
But you got to remember last year Cameron Carter took over those duties, and he has one heck of a leg.
Yes, he does.
That was one of the special team surprises of last year was when Cameron Carter was moved back there to punt the ball.
All right, kick is high, end over end, and it's going to be down at the 35-yard line.
Yeah,
so
Walker.
A net kick of about 35 to 40 yards. Nice kick by Cameron Carter.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. He puts it at the 35-yard line.
And he really didn't distract the ball that well. He actually kept.
That's in the backfield. That's Barrett Travis, who scored the touchdown early in the game.
Yeah, they're going to call a false start on the Chargers. Like Ori Walker, the receiver to this side, jumped.
Okay, Heritage Hall's second penalty of the first half. Millwood has 1. Heritage Hall has 2 in that category in the penalties. 4 receivers now. Trips to the right side. Bass looks to the right, throws it to the outside, and has a receiver who catches it off one knee. Catch is made by Rashawn Smith, the junior, 6 foot, 182 pounds, makes the catch. Gain of 2, third down and 8.
Yeah, Cameron Carter on the coverage, he made the tackle. So again, it looked like it's going to be about 3rd and 8.
Make that 7. I mean,
7. Okay.
Yeah, 1 plus 2 is 3. So I got to get my math going.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Here we go. 3 receivers now. Twins to the left side. Pistol formation this time. 2 backs in the backfield. And Bass is going to put it up. And he's nearly hit. Throwing the ball deep and just off the fingertips. Nearly caught by Ori Walker, who had beaten Ricky Hunt. And again, when you were playing in wet conditions, once you get a step on your man, Gary, where you used to have the recovery speed, the ground won't give you.
It won't let you make it up.
It won't let you make it up. It won't let you be great, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, in these elements, you got to play smart, right? Defensive backs in these elements need to give a cushion. They need to play more sure-footed. No need to gamble, okay? And then also, too, one of the things was needed was some free safety support. Jaden Nickens at free. He could have been over there to perhaps help.
All right, the ball takes a Heritage Hall bounce, and Xavier Thompson gets away from it. He was back to receive it, and the ball is going to be down inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that took one heck of a Heritage Hall bounce. I thought that Thompson was going to be able to handle that ball, but he elected to let it go, and it just rolled right on about another 15 or so yards.
So Millwood now has it at their own. I'm trying to see here exactly with 5:37 to go. Looks like the ball will be spotted at the 7-yard line. So you got 93 yards to go on this one, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, let's see what the offensive coordinator for the Falcons dial up. Again, the Falcons a little bit slow. They have some spots of what we see, what we would call productive play, but right now, a little slow overall.
3 receivers for the Falcons, 2 backs in the backfield. This time they fake it and give it around to Carter. And Carter burrows over one Heritage Hall defender, knocks number 44 to the ground. That is Cooper Cookson, who gets knocked to the ground, but he does manage to get Carter down. Carter takes it beyond the 10-yard line out to the 12.
Yeah, it's good to see, Cameron get some carries. Tough run there, and that's exactly what you want. You just want to try to get that 3 yards, keep moving the chains, hold on to the football, and then, of course, what will happen is that you'll get your breaks if you stay consistent.
3 receivers, twins to the left, inside slot comes in motion.
Got a penalty.
2 people moving, perhaps, but on the other side, taking a big hit, trying to get to the outside right now, is C.J. Turnbull. He tries to get to the outside. He gets beyond the 10-yard line, maybe to the 12, but there's a flag in the backfield area right around the 7-yard line.
Yeah, so we had Xavier Thompson coming in motion, and it just so happened that Cameron Carter was moving around about the same time, and that's what triggered the flag.
Illegal shift.
Yep, illegal shift. So we're going to see how they're going to count this one off.
So that moves the ball back inside the 10. They're going to put it probably around the 7, right back to where it was at the original line of scrimmage.
You are
5-yard penalty. So 2nd down and 10 for the Falcons. 4:51 to go. So Falcons are now coming set. 3 receivers this time. 1 back in the backfield. Looks like it's Ricky Hunt. Ball snap. Turnbull's going to throw it. He's going to throw it to the outside and trying to make a play. And again, this time there's going to be a flag for pass interference as they try to get the ball in the hands this time of Jaden Nickens, who was running the 9 route right down the seams.
Yeah.
And Jaden Nickens got good separation, but he could not make a catch on the ball because he was pulled down.
Yeah, he was pulled down and face guarded, and so that's exactly the kind of break the Falcons need, because I do believe that that's going to make it an automatic first down. It's going to move the chains.
Now, we'll see. Now, we know that it's not a spot foul like it is in college and like you see in the NFL. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty, but, Gary, you should be right. If we mark it correctly, it should be a first down.
Yeah, it should be a first down.
Moving the ball beyond the 20-yard line, and that's going to be enough for a first down as they spot it right at the 22. So 4:42 to go in the first quarter. Heritage Hall leads this contest by a score of 7-0 right now. So, ball snapped. This time to get the ball and brought down to the backfield is Cameron Carter. Again, the Falcons want to use the lateral quickness, and as you said earlier, Gary, that one cut needs to be north-south.
North-south, that's right. Another thing, too, that's making this difficult is Heritage Hall, they run a defense called a 3-3 stack, and they are actually bringing 2 linebackers almost every play in the run situation. And what they're trying to do is bring actually more players than what the Falcons can block, forcing the Falcons to have to try to cut outside or make sudden cuts.
Okay, the ball is now in the hands on a jet sweep play in the hands of Jake Nickens, who's going to get a gain of 5 on the play after losing 5 by Carter, who was tackled in the backfield. Sets a 3rd down and 11. Nickens on the jet sweep. Can't see. Is he again? That's that water that gets splashed in that face guard.
Every time you get tackled, you're going to have mud soup in your face.
So 3rd down and 11. Four receivers in the backfield. Looks like Miko Levine. Big Meech is back there. Shifts to the other side. And before things get started, looks like the play clock ran out on the Falcons. So that's going to cost them 5 yards and move the ball inside the 20 this time, back to the 17 or 18-yard line. So 3rd down and 15 officially now, Gary.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there. Ricky Hunt actually went from the running back position to the receiver spot. Jaden Nickens had to substitute himself out. And so that kind of caused a little bit of confusion and a delay for the Falcons.
4 receivers. Turnbull drops back. Pressure being applied. Tries to spin out. Loses the football. Football's in the end zone. And it looks like the Chargers are going to fall on it in the end zone.
Yep.
And it's going to be a Charger touchdown. The ball was snapped. Turnbull had it. But again, the ball is wet. So normally he could spin around and have that thing hanging out. You didn't tuck it away. He spins around, and a Heritage Hall defender knocked it loose. It rolls into the end zone for a Charger touchdown.
Well, it started out, Mo, with, again, blitz game. And one of the things that I said earlier is that Heritage Hall, they're bringing a blitz package almost every single play. They knew it was obvious pass, but this time they dialed up a corner blitz. And so the corner of the Chargers came in and on CJ's blind side and hit him and took him down, and he just didn't have the football secured, and that caused the turnover, which resulted in the recovery and score.
All right, for the extra point again, Carter Counts. High snap, Carter Counts is able to get it and put it through the uprights. And so now Heritage Hall now leads 14-0. Clash of the Titans right now going Heritage Hall's way. We'll be back in just a moment. You are listening to Millwood Falcon Football, sponsored by Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores and SSM Health in St. Anthony.
Friends, is your job recession-proof? Now might be the perfect time to switch careers and become an IT professional with My Computer Career. IT is listed as one of the top recession-proof professions. Hey, and you can have your dream job in just months, not years. No experience needed. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available for those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Welcome back to LW Good. The Falcons find themselves down. 2 turnovers, Gary, have led to 14 points by Heritage Hall. Heritage Hall, in the first possession by the Falcons, was able to capitalize on a fumble that, with a change of momentum play early on in the game, was able to catch the Falcons sleeping on a double move that set up the first touchdown that was scored by Mr. Barrett Travis. And the second one here, the Falcons inside their own 10-yard line got caught. Short kick could have been considered onside, but it's a squib kick. It's going to be recovered by the Falcons at their own 48 or 49-yard line. Kind of surprised the Chargers chose to do that there. Considering you're up 14 points, the Falcons don't have any momentum on their side right now, but now you give them a chance to build it, Gary, with great field position now.
Yeah, you do. However, I think Heritage Hall kind of rolled the dice a little bit, trying to see if they could get a quick recovery, try to catch Millwood sulking a little bit because, again, they are up 2 scores, and they capitalized on the Falcons by taking advantage of the Falcon mistakes.
Full house backfield right now, and the Falcons got multiple players moving this time. Confusion on the play and also on the, I want to say, basically the snap count, because the Falcons are going to get a false start penalty there. The full house backfield, what you want to call the power formation, if you will, the Falcon offense have so much options if they decide to go that way, Gary.
Yeah.
If they could get some success there. It's 1st and 15 right now after that false start penalty, which is the Falcons' 5th penalty of the first half. They come out of, we got pistol formation now. No, we don't.
No, split backs, 2
split backs. 3 receivers, twins to the right side. Ball snap. Turnbull's going to throw it to the outside, gets it in the hands of Nickens, and Nickens is going to be brought down with a gain of maybe 3 or 4 on the play, sitting 3rd down and 12 right now.
Notice what Coach Franklin